My name is John Miller, and for years, I dedicated my life to serving my country as a member of the elite special forces. I've been through hell and back, trained to kill and survive in the most extreme conditions imaginable. My skills were honed in the crucible of war, my body sculpted by relentless physical and mental training. I've seen things most people couldn't even imagine, faced dangers that would make your blood run cold. But after years of fighting, I needed a break. I needed to get away from it all. I needed peace. I was tired of the constant adrenaline rush, the never-ending cycle of conflict and violence. I craved a simple life, a chance to reconnect with the natural world, to experience the tranquility of nature. I needed a break from the constant threat, from the constant war. I chose Alaska as my destination, a vast and rugged expanse of wilderness, a land of towering mountains, dense forests, and icy tundras. I longed for the solitude of the wilderness, the opportunity to test my survival skills in a new and challenging environment. It was a place where I could be alone, a place where I could clear my mind. I needed to find a place where I could heal. The first few days were blissful. The air was fresh and crisp, the landscapes breathtaking, the silence profound. I spent my days hiking through snow-covered trails, fishing in icy streams, and camping under the stunning aurora borealis. I felt a sense of peace I hadn't experienced in years. I was reconnecting with myself, with nature, with the simple things in life. I was finally at peace. However, beneath the serene surface of the Alaskan wilderness, a sense of unease began to creep in. The silence was too profound, the landscapes too vast, the shadows too deep. The wildlife seemed to be different. The animals were avoiding me, and I could sense that something was wrong. I could sense that something was watching me. One crisp, clear evening, as I was preparing to set up camp near a secluded lake, I heard a strange noise. It was a low growl, a guttural sound that sent a shiver down my spine. I looked around, my senses on high alert, but I couldn't see anything. I was on edge. I knew something was wrong, but I couldn't figure out what it was. The growls intensified, growing closer and closer. I grabbed my rifle, my hand trembling slightly, my muscles tensing. I was a soldier, and my instincts were kicking in. I was ready to fight. I was ready to protect myself. Suddenly, a large, shadowy figure emerged from the trees. It was unlike anything I had ever seen before. It was tall, with long limbs and piercing red eyes. It moved with an unnatural grace, its movements fluid and silent. It was a creature from a nightmare, a being that shouldn't exist. I had stumbled upon a cryptid. I had stumbled upon something terrifying. The Alaskan wilderness is a vast and unforgiving expanse, a land of stark beauty and hidden dangers. Towering mountains pierce the sky, their peaks shrouded in snow and ice. Dense forests stretch for miles, their trees gnarled and ancient, their branches laden with snow. Icy tundras stretch out to the horizon, a desolate landscape where life clings to existence in the face of extreme cold. It's a land of contrasts, a place where the delicate balance of nature is constantly challenged by the harsh realities of the environment. Alaska is also a land of mystery and legend, a place where stories of cryptids and strange phenomena have been passed down through generations. The native populations have long whispered tales of creatures that lurk in the shadows, entities that defy explanation. There are stories of giant bears, mysterious birds, and wolf-like creatures that prowl the wilderness, their existence shrouded in folklore and speculation. The stories seem to be just stories, legends, meant to scare children and to keep them indoors. But the wilderness of Alaska was filled with secrets and mysteries. John Miller, a veteran of countless battles, was a man of action, a soldier through and through. His years in the Special Forces had honed his physical and mental abilities, transforming him into a highly skilled and disciplined warrior. He had a steely resolve, a quiet confidence that radiated from within. He was a man of few words, but his actions spoke volumes. He was a man who was always ready for a fight, but he was also a man who was weary of war. He was seeking peace, but the Alaskan wilderness had other plans for him. His military training had instilled in him a deep sense of discipline and order. He was accustomed to operating in high-stress environments, making quick decisions under pressure, and adapting to unexpected challenges. He was a master of survival, capable of thriving in the most extreme conditions. His training had prepared him for anything. Except for this, he was not prepared for the Alaskan wilderness. Despite his years of experience in combat, John was also a man of deep introspection, capable of quiet contemplation. He valued loyalty and camaraderie above all else. He had witnessed the horrors of war firsthand, and he longed for a life free from violence and conflict. He was seeking peace, but he was also prepared to fight for it. He was a man who valued peace, but he was also prepared to fight for it. John's experience in the military had left an indelible mark on him. He carried the scars of battle, both physical and emotional. He was haunted by the memories of those he had lost, the horrors he had witnessed, but he had also learned invaluable lessons about resilience, adaptability, and the importance of human connection. His experiences had shaped him into the man he was, and they would continue to guide him in the challenges that lay ahead. The encounter with the shadowy creature shattered the tranquility of my Alaskan adventure. My instincts, honed by years of military training, kicked in. My mind raced, analyzing the situation, assessing the potential threat. I was no longer a peaceful tourist. I was a soldier, ready for combat. I spent the next few days in a heightened state of awareness, my senses on high alert. The once peaceful wilderness now felt menacing. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig, sending a jolt of adrenaline through my body. I scanned the surroundings constantly, searching for any sign of the creature, any indication of its presence. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. The creature seemed to be toying with me. It would appear in the distance, a fleeting shadow in the periphery of my vision, then vanish without a trace. It was like a phantom, a specter haunting the wilderness. I started losing sleep, constantly scanning the surroundings for any signs of the creature. I was not getting any rest. I was on edge. I started to encounter more of these creatures. They moved with an unnatural grace, their movements fluid and silent. Their eyes glowed with an eerie red light, piercing through the darkness. They seemed to be everywhere and nowhere at the same time. They were hunting me, and I was becoming their prey. I began to feel a growing sense of isolation, a chilling realization that I was alone in the vast and unforgiving wilderness. The creature was everywhere, and it seemed to be growing bolder with each passing day. It was getting closer and closer. I was trapped. My military training kicked in, providing me with a framework for survival. I established a fortified campsite, a defensive perimeter that would offer me some protection from the creatures. I rationed my supplies, ensuring that I would have enough food and water to last for an extended period. I practiced my marksmanship, honing my skills with my rifle, preparing myself for any confrontation. I was a soldier, and I was going to survive. I was going to fight. But the creatures were relentless. They attacked my campsite, testing my defenses, pushing the limits of my resilience. They were fast, agile, and seemed to possess an uncanny ability to anticipate my movements. They seemed to be able to read my mind. I fought back, my years of training kicking in. I used my rifle, my handguns, my knives, and my bare hands. I fought with a ferocity that I hadn't felt in years. I fought with the rage of a cornered animal. I fought for my life, but the creatures were too numerous, too powerful. I was forced to retreat, abandoning my campsite and venturing deeper into the wilderness. I was running out of supplies. I was running out of options. I was running out of time. The Alaskan wilderness, once a source of peace and tranquility, had transformed into a battleground. I was a soldier caught in a war I never expected, fighting against creatures I never believed existed. My vacation had turned into a nightmare. As I fled deeper into the Alaskan wilderness, I started to notice strange patterns in the creatures' attacks. They seemed to be following me, but only during specific times of day. The attacks were more frequent at night, often during the darkest hours when the aurora borealis was most vibrant. It felt like they were drawn to something in the sky. I began to investigate, searching for any correlation between the creature's activity and the aurora. My military training taught me the importance of observation and pattern recognition, and I began to suspect that the creatures were somehow linked to the celestial phenomenon. I also started to encounter other people in the wilderness. They were mostly hunters and trappers, rugged individuals who had carved out a life for themselves in the vast and unforgiving landscape. They told stories of strange creatures, creatures that lurked in the shadows, creatures that defied explanation. They shared their knowledge of the wilderness, their expertise in survival, their respect for the power of nature. They were survivors, and they were wary of the unknown. These encounters reinforced my growing suspicion that I was not the only one who had encountered these creatures. The wilderness held many secrets, and I was only beginning to scratch the surface. The stories also told me that the creatures could be very dangerous. I knew I had to find a way to stop them, to find a way to get to the bottom of their existence. One night, as I was huddled by a campfire, listening to the wind howl through the trees, one of the hunters, a grizzled old man named Jebediah, shared a story that sent chills down my spine. He spoke of an ancient legend, a tale passed down through generations, about a hidden cave deep within the Alaskan mountains. He spoke of a creature that lived there, a creature that was said to be the source of all the strange phenomena in the region. The story spoke of the creature as a being that could control the aurora borealis, that could bend the forces of nature to its will. Jebediah also mentioned a ritual, an ancient practice that could be used to control the creature. He said that the ritual involved a specific artifact, a stone that was said to be capable of harnessing the energy of the aurora. The ritual was dangerous and potentially deadly. Jebediah was afraid to try it, and he told me that the ritual was a last resort. It was a desperate measure, a desperate attempt to survive a situation that was beyond human understanding. The story gave me hope. It gave me a target. It gave me a plan. I needed to find this cave, to find this artifact, to perform the ritual and to stop the creatures. I had to find a way to stop the creature before it was too late. I had to find a way to survive. The encounter with Jebediah ignited a spark of hope within me. I had been fighting a losing battle against creatures I didn't understand, but now I had a target, a plan, a way to end this nightmare. The key to defeating the creatures was the artifact. My military training kicked in, providing me with the structure and discipline I needed to navigate this unfamiliar territory. I began to study maps, scrutinizing every detail, searching for clues that might lead me to the hidden cave. I learned to read the signs of the wilderness, to interpret the subtle cues of the environment. I became a student of nature, learning to navigate its intricacies, to respect its power. I started to appreciate the beauty of the Alaskan wilderness, the stark contrast between the icy tundras and the dense forests, the serenity of the silent lakes, the breathtaking beauty of the aurora borealis. The wilderness, once a source of fear and danger, began to reveal its hidden wonders. I started to see a hidden beauty within the wilderness. I started to appreciate the environment I was in. I started to feel like I could do this. I was starting to understand the environment. I also began to rely more on my instincts, my gut feelings. I was a soldier, a survivor, and I had a natural ability to sense danger, to read the signs of the environment. I started to trust my intuition more than ever, letting it guide my decisions, leading me towards my goal. I was starting to trust my gut. As I journeyed through the Alaskan wilderness, I learned to adapt, to improvise, to overcome the challenges that were thrown my way. I learned to make use of the resources available to me, to use my ingenuity and resourcefulness to survive. I learned to rely on my training, on my instincts, and on my ability to stay calm under pressure. I was a soldier, and I was learning to adapt. I spent nights under the stars, huddled by a campfire, the aurora borealis dancing overhead, a breathtaking display of light and energy. I felt a sense of connection to something ancient, something powerful, something beyond human comprehension. I was in awe. I felt a sense of peace. I felt a sense of belonging. I felt a sense of wonder. I also started to dream about the creature. The dreams were vivid and unsettling, filled with a sense of dread and a haunting sense of the unknown. The creature stalked me in my dreams, their glowing eyes piercing through the darkness, their movements fluid and deadly. The dreams were both terrifying and strangely compelling. They were telling me something. I felt a growing sense of urgency. The time to act was now. I had to find the cave, to find the artifact, to perform the ritual and to defeat the creatures. I knew that it was a dangerous mission, but I was determined to succeed. I was ready to do whatever it took to survive, to protect myself, and to save the world. The journey was long and arduous. I trekked through snow-covered mountains, crossed icy rivers, and navigated dense forests. I faced blizzards, avalanches, and wild animals. The Alaskan wilderness tested me to my limits. The wilderness was a formidable opponent. I was pushed to my limits. I was forced to learn new skills, to adapt to new challenges, to embrace the unexpected. But I was determined. The dream of the creature, the ancient legend, the desperate hope of finding a solution propelled me forward. I was driven by a primal need to survive, to protect myself, to find a way to end the nightmare. I was driven by the need to survive, to protect myself, and to protect the world. I was driven by a sense of purpose. Finally, after weeks of relentless pursuit, I found it, the hidden cave, nestled deep within the heart of the Alaskan mountains. It was a natural wonder, a breathtaking spectacle of ice and rock. It was a place of both beauty and danger. It was a place of mystery. I entered the cave, my heart pounding in my chest, my senses on high alert. The air was cold and damp, the silence profound. The walls were covered in ancient carvings and symbols, remnants of a forgotten civilization. It was a place that exuded an aura of mystery and power. It was a place that felt both ancient and otherworldly. I felt a sense of urgency. I had to find the artifact, the stone that could control the creatures. I had to find a way to perform the ritual. I had to be ready to fight. I had to be ready to face the creature. I had to be ready for anything. I needed to be prepared. The cave was filled with a strange energy, a pulsating force that seemed to emanate from the depths of the earth. I could feel the creature's presence, its power, its malevolence. It was a formidable foe, but I was ready. I was a soldier, and I was going to fight. I was a soldier, and I was ready for a battle. I ventured deeper into the cave, my senses on high alert, my eyes scanning the surroundings. I was looking for anything that might be out of place, anything that might reveal the location of the artifact. I knew that the artifact was out there, somewhere in this cave, and then I saw it, a shimmering stone, nestled within a deep crevice in the cave wall. It pulsed with a soft, ethereal light, a captivating display of energy. The stone was an artifact. The artifact was in my hands. It was in my grasp. I had found it. I knew that the ritual was dangerous, that it could be deadly, but I was determined to see it through. I had to try. I had to stop the creature. I had to protect the world. The moment I touched the artifact, a surge of energy coursed through my body. It was a powerful force, a primal energy that resonated with the very core of my being. I felt a connection to something ancient, something powerful, something beyond human comprehension. It was an energy that I could barely control. It was a force that I had to control. I had to be ready. I could feel the creature's presence, its rage, its desperation. It was sensing the artifact, its power, its potential. It was coming for me. The cave began to shake, the walls groaning under an unseen pressure. Ice and rock began to fall from the ceiling. The air grew thick with a palpable sense of dread. The creature was coming for me. I knew that I had to act quickly. The ritual was a delicate dance, a balancing act between power and control. I had to be precise. I had to be focused. I had to be strong. I found a suitable spot within the cave, a place where the energy of the artifact was strongest. I took a deep breath, calming my nerves, focusing my mind, summoning my inner strength. I had to be prepared. I held the artifact in my hand, its energy pulsing through my veins. I began to chant the words that Jebediah had taught me, a guttural incantation that seemed to echo through the very core of the cave. The words felt ancient, powerful, primal. As I chanted, the cave began to shudder violently. The air crackled with energy and the temperature dropped. I could feel the creature's presence growing stronger, its rage intensifying. It was aware of what I was doing. It was angry. It was coming for me. The walls of the cave began to crumble, rock and ice falling from the ceiling. I could hear the creature's growls echoing through the cave, a terrifying symphony of rage and despair. I pressed on, my voice filled with a newfound strength, my heart pounding in my chest, my determination unwavering. I chanted the final words of the incantation, and the cave erupted with light. The artifact glowed with blinding intensity, its energy surging through the cave, pushing back against the creature's presence. The creature's growls became more frantic, its rage more desperate. It was losing control. The creature emerged from the depths of the cave, its form twisted and corrupted, its eyes burning with an unholy light. It was a terrifying spectacle, a being of pure rage and despair. It was a nightmare made flesh. The creature lunged towards me, its claws outstretched, its teeth bared in a silent snarl. I raised the artifact, channeling its power, focusing its energy. I was ready to fight. I was ready to defend myself. I was ready to protect the world. The creature lunged at me, its claws outstretched, its teeth bared in a silent snarl. I raised the artifact, channeling its power, focusing its energy. I was ready to fight. I was ready to defend myself. I was ready to protect the world. The artifact pulsed with an intense light, its energy searing through the air. The creature roared in pain and fury, its form contorting as it struggled to resist the artifact's power. The creature was weakening. The creature was losing. I channeled the artifact's energy, focusing it into a beam of pure light, a torrent of energy that engulfed the creature. The creature screamed in agony, its body convulsing violently, its form dissolving into a wisp of smoke. It was gone. It was defeated. It was over. I stood there, my body trembling, my breath ragged, my mind reeling from the intensity of the battle. The cave was silent, the air heavy with the lingering scent of ozone. I lowered the artifact, its glow fading, its power subsiding. I had done it. I had defeated the creature. I had protected myself. I had saved the world. It was a moment of quiet triumph, a bittersweet victory. I carefully placed the artifact back in its hiding place, feeling a sense of completion. The ritual was complete, the creature defeated, the world safe. I left the cave, emerging into the crisp Alaskan air. The aurora borealis shimmered overhead, a breathtaking display of light and color. The wilderness was alive with energy, a symphony of sounds and sensations. The beauty of the wilderness was a stark contrast to the horrors I had faced, a reminder of the resilience of life, the power of nature, the enduring spirit of the human soul. I had faced a creature, confronted the darkness, and emerged victorious. I had grown stronger, more resilient, more aware of the fragility of existence. I had found peace in the wilderness, a peace that I never thought I would find. I returned to civilization, my body and mind scarred by the ordeal, but my spirit unbroken. I was a different man now, changed by the experience, forever marked by the darkness I had confronted. The wilderness had tested me, pushed me to my limits, but I had survived. I was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. I had found a sense of purpose, a renewed appreciation for life, a commitment to protect the world. I was a soldier, a survivor, a guardian of the realm, and I would never stop fighting for the safety of humanity. I was ready for whatever came next. Years passed. I returned to civilization, but the Alaskan wilderness remained etched in my memory. The vastness, the silence, the beauty, the danger. It was a place that I could never truly leave behind. I became a guardian of the unseen, a silent protector of the world, forever vigilant against the darkness that lurks in the shadows. The memories of my journey, the battles fought, and the lessons learned became a source of strength. The Alaskan wilderness had changed me, but it had also made me stronger. I knew that I was ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. The world is a vast and mysterious place, filled with wonders and dangers we can't even imagine. There are forces at play beyond our understanding, hidden threats that lurk in the shadows. But there are also those who stand ready to protect us, to defend the boundaries of reality. Be aware of the unknown, but never lose hope. Share your thoughts on this story in the comments below. What did you think of the ending? What would you have done differently? And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more thrilling stories like this one. Hit that notification bell and be prepared to face your worst nightmares. Click the link below to discover even more incredible content that's guaranteed to keep you on the edge of your seat.